looking at the emails I have here between our first interaction, and we're talking about defining the role of a Reddit moderator. What makes a Reddit moderator? And you suggested there was something like a formal code of conduct that a moderator has to follow, but that's very narrow, that's very precise, that's very to the point, and that there's an informal, informal role to being a moderator. Could you open that up for a bit, for comment? What is the informal role?
What is the informal rule of being a moderator? Well,
Yeah.
It really depends on what kind of moderator you want to be, what level of moderator, because there are no levels of moderators really, but there also is unofficially.
Alright.
If you're a moderator of some tiny subreddit like retro gaming or I don't know, Wrath of the Mad God, I keep just listing off subreddits here.
Yeah.
Then the admins are never going to talk to you unless you talk to them first, for spam or whatever. But they're going to deal with their job, and that's all they're going to do with you. That's the entire point of you being there. You're just there to police your own community. They don't care about you. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you're a big moderator, if you're a moderator of our gaming, that's not a default anymore.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot more discussions with the admins. You might get one of them in a Skype chat, and that's how you know you've really made it big.
Okay.
That's at least that I'm taking a little bit of time to give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
Which normally is unheard of. But if you want to be a moderator of our game, you want to be an active moderator, I should say, not just someone who just hangs on like a leech, then you're going to have a lot more interactions with them, and they're going to expect things of you. Not officially. They're not going to come out and say, hey, we want you to keep your subreddit clear of this certain thing.
Oh, yeah.
They're just going to, if your subreddit isn't clear of that certain thing, that line of communication with the admins is just gone.
Oh, okay.
You won't be able to talk. They won't trust you anymore. I know of a moderator who is so hated by the admins. No matter what the situation, they will not speak to him ever. Not unless I'm fucking serious. Not unless a lawyer is present while they talk to him. And he's considered. Well, what happened with him is I don't want to talk too much about this, but basically he's had his life threatened over and over for years on Reddit. He's had his personal information posted on Reddit. Reddit admins have condoned this many times. They don't care about him. I've personally asked admins about it and why they don't do anything about it. And the consensus is just they don't give a fuck about this guy. And he's considered suing Reddit to take down the personal information attacks and all this against them, and they just say bring it on. That's the extent that these people are willing to go for their own pettiness, is that if you don't do what they want you to do, they don't care about you anymore. So if you want to be an effective moderator, you have to be able to speak to the admins, because we don't have any powers as moderators. We can hide things. We can't even really remove things. We can hide topics, and we can ban users from that one subreddit. That's all we can do.
Okay.
If you want anything else done, gotta talk to the admins.
Okay, so moderators of large subreddits are entirely dependent on this line of communication existing then.
Yeah, and this line of communication barely exists in the first place. Is that even among moderators, a lot of people don't talk to the admins. Even on our games, most of the moderators of our games don't talk to any of the admins besides me. I made it a point to talk to as many as possible, so I talk to most of the team. Half of them hate me because, I have strong opinions on different things. But, if you were to ask half the moderators of our games, is there this informal communication between mods and admins about expectations and whatnot, they're going to say no, because they've never been in that kind of room.
Oh, okay, so it's dependent on access then. Access and knowledge.
Whereas I've been in a big Skype call with different mods and admins and whatnot, and given big rundowns whenever giant drama like this was happening. I guarantee that there's a Skype room for this right now.
It's what, a Skype room for this interview? Or
Not for this interview, but when censorship, etc. I guarantee that a lot of people pulled into Skype rooms and asked to do whatever or expected to do whatever, because I've been in those rooms.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell me, these quote-unquote rooms then, can you tell me a bit more about them? What sort of content you see discussed between moderators and admins? Is there, if not specifics, can you just give me a general idea?
Well, really, they don't like to have more than one admin in a room at the same time, as far as I can tell.
Oh yeah.
I've only ever talked to, in confidence, I've only ever talked to two admins, and I won't name their names, but they have been really helpful to me. One is even helpful to me now, which
Oh
is
yeah.
awesome. But well, what I was involved in is that I was part of, or I guess I was heading this project to revitalize a portion of Reddit that had been destroyed by the admins a long time ago. And so the last time I was pulled into a room was to talk about this and talk about exactly what I was going to do and whose toes I wasn't going to step on,
Oh yeah.
etc.
I
But
mean,
there I've been before.
you discussed in the email in the first question I asked as well that there was this sort of dichotomy between a moderator having free reign over his subreddit and a moderator that had to be exceptionally cautious. They had to take precautions about whatever actions they took. Can you explain a bit more about that? Like, what leads moderators to have this specific position?
Where did I say this? Did I say
Um,
this like on Skype? Or did I say this on
no,
email too?
this is in the first email that we sent, or that you responded to.
Right, I wrote that at like 2 in the morning, so you're gonna have to
It
excuse me. I'm a
was.
bit hazy.
Oh yeah, no
But
worries. Okay,
so exactly, like, what is the question exactly?
it's like, can you explain a bit more about how moderators fall into this position where they're able to have free reign over their
Mhm.
subreddit, or where
It's
they have?
really it's I think it's a combination of a few things. The first would be like, who are they?
Yeah,
Personality, not exactly a big thing, but who you are, like your reputation, that's a huge thing. I've known moderators who are actually huge, massive, gaping assholes who everyone thinks they're nice because they've never actually had a real talk with these people.
okay.
And so everyone knows them as some nice guy. Yeah, you can just send them a PM. They'll answer your questions happily. They got a smile. And I've talked to these people, and I'm like, wow, dude, you're a fucking prick.
Oh yeah.
You need to be locked up on Prick Island. But secondly, it's what you're hoping to accomplish by what you're doing. Like in our games, the extent of all of our, I mean, we had a common goal that we were all working toward. Every single action that I took in the past 2 years as sort of like community manager, front man, whatever, has all been leading to the same common goal that all of us shared, which was that our games were supposed to be the single greatest subreddit on the website. We were supposed to be this great thing for all of gaming. And, one of the admins, Demores, was our top mod, so he definitely agreed with that, I guess. Even though he didn't really do anything. But, they like that action. They're fine with it. They want our games to be the best. They want it to be pure and everything because it represents a good piece of Reddit.
Yeah.
But sorry. But if your goal is something that they don't particularly care for, like I don't know, I know. I think it's our NetSec. I think it is. It's this community dealing with privacy and encryption and all that.
Oh yeah.
They don't really care for that community because their end goal is for all communication to be encrypted, etc.
Yeah.
I'll go off on a tangent for something else after this, but they don't particularly like that community, so they're gonna look over it a lot more closely than they do our games. Because if they do something they don't particularly like, they gotta shut that down before it gets too big or before people know about it. Because
Okay.
once it's public, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, I figured I'd comment on it now. Those logs that were leaked like a few days ago, I think it was,
Yeah.
mentioned that admins can read PMs of any user, combination of users, whatever. That is true. They can read any PM, any mod mail, any private subreddit, any page on the website. It's their website, so this is,
So they have
I don't
full
know why
access. Yeah.
I don't know why this is a surprise to everyone. Several months ago, maybe last year, I can't even remember, I created a browser add-on for Chrome and Firefox that would have end-to-end encryption for Reddit PMs and mod mail,
Yeah.
as well as entire subreddits. In fact, you could pair it with a program on your computer so that even images would be encrypted,
Okay.
so that you would click a link, it would download it, would go through the program. You can have entire subreddits where the admins could not look at it.
Okay.
Doesn't exist anymore.
It was. What happened to that? Was it deleted? Was it taken down by them, or were
Nope,
you
it
forced
was
to take?
never put up. I was never put up. And it's
Even.
not like they could delete it.
Yeah.
I had it all on my computer, I should say. But it's it's kind of complicated. You know what I mean?
Or the situation.
It was a very complicated situation in that um, basically I wasn't told this directly by the admins, but it was kind of insinuated that if I were to release this, then I would be marked as someone who was helping in the distribution of child pornography on Reddit, and
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay.
that would be very bad for me, of
Yeah.
course, because that's something that never goes away.
Yeah.
So I decided that encryption I mean, I love encryption. I absolutely love it. You know, I majored in computer science. I love encryption. And I just decided that it really wasn't worth it. I
Yeah.
had to just fuck it.
I mean,
And the people
that's.
that I did tell about it
Yeah.
were kind of heartbroken because they really liked it because it was, they wanted to feel like James Bond or anything. They wanted to send their dick butt pictures and total secrecy. I was like, that's fine. That's exactly what I like envisioned it for. Just for whatever, people can just use it. I don't give a shit what they're
Yeah.
using it for. I can't even see what they're using it for.
I mean, the insinuation that you might be like, slandered with this idea that you're somehow assisting in distribution of child pornography.
Which is
Yeah.
strange because, I mean, you could say that about anyone that does any encryption whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like the developers of RSA, the developers of anything. I mean, and it's crazy because that actually does happen. That whenever these things get too popular, there are always news stories on on Fox, big exposés that are like CryptoCat and how it's used to harm your children.
So,
411.
would you say the motivation for this was to keep admins strictly in control? I mean, this encryption seems to threaten the power base of theirs.
I don't exactly know because I was never told outright by them. You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
They always avoid saying anything outright. It's
Okay.
always just kind of, you could do that. You could do that.
You could do that,
I mean,
but it will
you
lead to
could do that,
this.
But
Yeah.
by the way, and completely unrelated though, we shadow banned all these people yesterday. What's one more fucking name on a fucking pike? But I don't know. I mean, I know that they actively do read PMs and mod mails.
Yeah.
I know this. I've completely seen it. I know that oh, here's something. Admins can remove anything from any subreddit whatsoever, anytime, even if they're not a mod of that. Obviously, I mean it's part of their job. Um, what I noticed was there in the mod log, there's a feature that you could show deletions by admins.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it works though because an admin removed something in the subreddit that I moderated, and it didn't show up there.
So do you reckon somebody's tampered with it, or?
Well, I figure since it's their I mean, I'm not a web developer. I'm a software developer. At least I was. I was a software developer, and I know that if you physically have a server, the software on it doesn't matter at all. You can do whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean? You've got complete access to it.
Yeah.
So for me to say they tampered with it doesn't. There's no tampering. They did exactly what it's supposed to do.
Oh, okay. I see.
You know what I'm getting at? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
I don't have proof of that, of course, because there's no logs.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to leave that out. I'll have to leave that out just entirely because that's quite a controversial claim, I guess, to make.
Yeah.
But I will try to suggest a lead into it. So coming from this question of defining the role of a moderator, and I suppose moving into the next talking point, it would be you spoke in your email about moderators having the same position and the same power, and yet one being higher than the other. I assume now you're talking about this admin communique between moderators being the advantage one moderator might have over another. I mean,
well,
would I be
what I meant
right?
by that is that moderators were higher than one another, even though they had the same position and same power.
Yeah.
If I were to tell you the name of a moderator, just the username of any given moderator, I know 1,000 names of moderators. Hey, I mean, I won't say any names, or I won't say the first name, but just like some random moderator who mods some small gaming subreddit.
Yeah.
You're not, no one's gonna know who that person is, not even on Reddit, unless it's someone who is a moderator with that person or is friends with that person. But if I were to tell a major Reddit mod of any sort, any subreddit, who I want to say like Rareth or Dead Beef, and they're going to know exactly who he is. These two people are very big in Reddit. They have a lot of respect. If I were to say British English Police or Karmanaut or, I don't know, Savior Mendel, they're going to know who all these names are because they're major names on Reddit that people know.
Okay.
And even though Karmanaut and British English Police have the same powers, the same position, one is they're higher up than the other people that are right next to them because they talk to the admins more frequently. They have more respect. They have more trust. They've kept a lot more secrets, etc.
So it seems to be.
Sorry, what?
It seems to be a position of who can keep. I don't know. Who can keep who can keep the most secrets? Then would you say that? Who can hold on to the most valuable information? Who can be the most useful moderator for the admins? I mean, do the admins?
It's not even close to use. Most of these people are fucking useless at everything.
So,
I mean, okay. I shouldn't say that of the people that I named. Rareth, Dead Beef. They're both very good people. I like them.
Yeah.
As far as I know, at least. I barely know the two, but I respect them because I know what they've done. Karmanaut, I respect him because he's put up with a lot of shit and he hasn't broken yet. That's fine. British English Police, I don't know him at all. I have no idea who he is, really. I mean, I know about him, but not really. But if it's not about use because most moderators are useless. They can't do anything for the admins. And it's not even so much about keeping secrets either. If your worth was determined by the secrets that you knew, I would tower over most people.
Okay.
Because even though they call me a leaker, they have no idea how much information I have.
I assume none of it you're ever going to be able to release.
Oh no, there's some shit. I mean, a lot of things too. I'm not gonna do that, but if they do decide to do some things, I actually took inventory of what I know and what I have.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't keep logs of any IRC rooms they're in. Not the private mod room, not the other private mod rooms, not the private subreddits, not anything. You know, no logs. I keep logs. I have kept logs forever, as long as I've been around there.
So there seem to be a lot of implicit closed doors for moderators.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's subreddit, there's private subreddit after private subreddit to private IRC rooms left and right.
And none of these users will ever see them, I'm guessing.
No, I mean, hell no. I mean, even if you make it as a moderator, you become a moderator of like our games, you'll get to the our games private IRC.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know, if you're trusted, you know, you're a trusted person, you're a good Redditor, at least you're neutral, you'll get to the private mod IRC. Just the one, though. But then you still have all these tiers blocked off to you, you know?
Yeah.
Like, as a moderator, if you're trusted with certain groups, then you get into their private IRCs where they discuss different things. Or you get into another private IRC server itself, not even a room, just an entire another server. I'm in a couple right now that they discuss everything from vote manipulation to brigading to all this stuff. And you use that to shut people down.
Okay.
Because that's what it takes. But even if you get all the way up there, you've still got, you know, Skype rooms blocked off to you, Mumble servers, and I mean, tools, just entire mod tools and all this stuff. There's even a private website that just deals with shit on Reddit. That's blocked to everyone but I think 35 to 40 people.
So being a successful moderator, is it a matter of making it from one room to the next? The idea of progressing in terms of contacts and being able to be included into our SC chat channels?
Inclusion isn't really enough. It's about being better than everyone, or at least making them think that you're better. It's about, if you have knowledge of one room, no one is in every room. No one knows everything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And no one wants to know everything exactly. It takes way too much work for everyone to do. But progressing, becoming the best moderator, and being trusted, holding the most secrets, it's all about convincing people that you can be that person and that you're the best at being that person already. Because if they feel that they gain something from simply telling you something, then they're going to tell it to you, even if they don't actually gain anything.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's how I put myself up as the best person possible. I would say, hey, I'm in this, private IRC. It's pretty great. And they're like, oh, you're in this, I'm in this. I'm like, oh, you should give me an invite, and I'll give you an invite to this. And you trade a favor, and you
Yeah.
trade another favor. And people were talking about nepotism and games journalism and everything, buddying, favor trading, all that. I've been doing that for 2 years, all the time, every single day. That's the only way you can be the best at this.
I suppose I really have to pick up on that point that you've just made. I was going to save this question for later, but have you ever seen specifically people trading favors to advantage a particular discussion on,
Oh, of
say,
course.
a video game though, related to our games? Platforming specific discussion about a game or a journal piece. Have you ever seen favors traded for that?
Hell, I mean, people have tried to trade favors with me for that. I once had a website try to give me an AMA, because we do AMAs on our games, or at least we did before they kicked me out. I don't know how they're going to do that anymore. But I was their AMA guy, and whenever anyone wanted an AMA, they wanted to talk to the whole R games. They wanted to talk to our games. They came to me. So I had this one company, this one website say, hey, we'll do an AMA if you do us a favor first. And I'm not like a really strict guy. I'm not new to favors.
Okay.
Never something that'll, compromise my integrity.
Yeah.
But if it's like, hey, I don't know, why don't you, what would it be? I can't even think of anything that I've done for favors, but these people would say, hey, why don't you make like our game the featured game of the day or whatever for one of your gaming discussions, and remove this thread for us that talks badly about our game and points out a glitch in the game that's really bad. And then
Okay.
we'll give you an AMA. And I had a protocol for these people. I had 2 protocols, I should say. The first one is the one that I tell everyone about, where if anyone asks us to do anything or asks us to pay us off, I tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
That's protocol number 1. Protocol number 2 is if we gain and the users gain a whole hell of a lot more than they do. Like if they're going to ask us for something like, hey, we'll give you an AMA, we'll give you whatever, we'll promote your subreddit in exchange for you, I don't know, flaring a couple of our employees as developers of this game and letting us answer questions about it in this thread without self-promotion guidelines. We don't care. We don't really care about that, so sure, why not? I don't think anyone would care even if we said we did. But the thing is that the other mods are going to care because they care about everything. So a couple of them knew exactly what was going on at all times, but none of them know about everything. A couple of them will know about a couple of these back deals, Most of them don't.
Okay.
Demores definitely didn't. Not all of them. He knew about one, and I didn't make that deal. He did.
I mean, I suppose this is asking for a bit too much. Can you give me an example of a moderator who's been involved in that sort of favor that might have?
I'm gonna name names.
Okay. Okay, so the next question I suppose I want to pick up on is, like you said, that there was intentionally vague and cryptic communication.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe you're referencing that between the moderators and the admins. I'm not entirely sure. I was just wondering if you could you open that up for comment? Could you explain that?
The intentionally vague communication between mods and admins.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want me to say? It was very vague.
Okay, so it seems
Generally-
like, from the way you've described everything so far, it seems like it's common practice for admins to make implications, make insinuations, and implicitly direct moderators to doing their bidding. And that
it depends on the admin.
Okay.
Here's the thing: the admins, like as a group, they don't get anything done really. There's no real boss. I mean, they have the CEO, Shan. They have the general manager, Huey Priest, who I kind of like Huey Priest, but he needs to respond to his messages within 3 months. That's how you be good. But most of the community management work is not done by the community managers. It's done by programmers, by the system administrators. It's done by the artist, like an office artist or whatever he
Yeah.
is. Sorry. Now, when I say the admins, I more or less mean at least one admin,
Yeah.
But as a group, I've never had any conversations with them as a group. No, that's it. But, like, one admin will always be very direct whenever we can talk, but he barely ever talks to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Only say exactly what he wants to say, and that's fine. I get that. Make yourself scarce, I know. And then another admin will always be vague. But if you want to talk to him, you can always talk to him. He'll just be like, well, if, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean? But then another admin, this admin will send you a message or whatever saying, hey, you need to do this. Just outright, hey, we need you to do this. And then you just do that. You don't only question them, and you just do it.
I mean, when you do it, is it out of fear for your position as a moderator?
They're not going to take your moderator position, but what they will do is say that you manipulated votes, you created some alternate accounts, and then ban you. Because here's the thing about admins. They don't tell people, including the person they banned, exactly what evidence there is against them. And I'm not saying this because that's exactly what happened to me. It's because they've told me exactly how this works before, personally. That if they don't like you, you're doing something that they don't like, they're gonna make a few alt accounts, they're gonna say it came from you, and then they're gonna ban you for it.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna ban every alt account you have unless you do exactly what they say. If you make a fuss, they're gonna just kind of bury you.
Yeah.
If they just say you were doing vote manipulation, you were brigading, because those are their go-tos. You can't prove that you didn't. You can't absolutely prove it because they have all the data, and they won't give you the data either to prove it on their end. You just have to trust them.
It sounds a bit like a game of who can keep their trophy account, like a valuable trophy account that they've got, who can keep it great in the eyes of admins so it doesn't, I don't know, suffer under this.
You have to try and get as much done as you can without pissing them off too much.
Oh yeah.
So we were supposed to grow our games to be the best. That wasn't exactly, that was like that was our plan.
Yeah.
I did that on my own, but to do that I was going to take actions that would have pissed them off in some way.
Oh yeah.
Because we were getting tired because no matter what we wanted out of them, like we wanted better mod tools, more stats, more, funny looking graphs or something, we would never get them. And no matter how much we asked, we never got them. So I would make these passive aggressive like little rants in my giant the subreddit post like, oh, if the admins wanted us to have the ability to do this, we could have it. But instead they're fucking off making, I don't know, toys for tots or some shit.
Were you ever picked up on that if you did make a passive aggressive thing, or did that just completely slide over?
Did anyone ever pick up on the admin team?
No, did anyone ever pick up on your comments if you did make them? Like, if the admins could do this? Yeah.
Yeah, they were always like, why can't you guys just do this? We would have like these monthly or bi-weekly discussion threads about how it could improve our games.
Yeah.
And these were my ideas. I came up with it. A lot of people thought they were stupid. I wanted to do the idea, and we did it, and everything worked as planned. And the only suggestions people would give us, they were either good suggestions we could do, in which case we did them, and everyone was happy, or suggestions that we wanted to do but couldn't because we weren't able to. And that's all we would say, which is we can't do this because the admins are fucking idiots and won't give us the ability to do this.
Okay.
And that did make the admins mad, at least one of them mad, but I didn't really care about this one because he was an idiot. I mean I don't mean like oh, you're just an idiot. I mean, this guy was not qualified for his job at all. I did his job. I could do his job better than him with my foot. I don't care. He's bad.
What do you reckon it takes to become a...
Sorry.
No worries. I suppose this would be a question, just a personal question. What do you reckon it takes to become an admin at like Reddit?
Well, basically you just have to make the money.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all it is. the admins have one goal and one goal only, to make as much profit as possible. I'm not kidding. Reddit's profit margin is very low. They were in the red for a very long time. I think they just barely inched over the black this year, and they don't want to go back under,
Oh, yeah.
no matter what. So if you can't make the money, you're not worth anything to them. You know what I mean? All their
Yeah.
decisions back to how could we make money, from the biggest things like new products and whatnot, because they just opened up more T-shirts. I think like they have like soap, stupid soap, whatever.
So,
But down to the smallest ones, like what to delete, like what comments they should delete, all come down to making money. That's what everything comes down to.
okay.
So what it takes to be a Reddit admin, how much money can you make them versus what you're worth to pay.
Okay. Okay, I suppose I'm done with the talking points now. That's really that out of the way. My cat would get off my fucking nose. The next things I have to ask you are about the Zoe Quinn scandal. I mean, it was going to come up. These questions have to be asked. Is there anything you can give me, like outright from knowledge, about this scandal that nobody else knows with regards to the shadow banning on Reddit?
Well, there's like two tiers of what you're asking. There's the what can you give me that you're willing to give, and what can you give me that would implicate people that you like. Which,
Okay.
dear God help me, I still don't want to implicate my friends in anything.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. I wish it were different, because it would change the tides of a lot of different things.
Okay.
I can tell you, man, like, I know some shit, but I just can't do it. I mean, if they were to come out and try some shit against me again, I could maybe rethink my position. You know, they've been on a pretty good warpath, but
Okay. Is this specifically with regards to Zoe Quinn? You know stuff.
Zoe Quinn, Phil Fish, Adam Sessler, what's his name, the other guy?
Nathan Grayson?
No, the guy with the funny hair.
There are a lot of guys with funny hair.
You know, the guy that she slept with the rainbowy hair and whatnot.
Oh shit! Yeah, I think I know the guy that you're talking about. I saw the Twitter picture.
He looks fucking stupid, but that guy, I don't know Nathan Grayson. I've never talked to Nathan Grayson. I've never talked to the guy with the funny hair either, but I know enough about him. But
what, that other people don't know, or?
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I mean. But
Okay. I mean,
personally, I'm not entirely involved in the Zoe Quinn thing. I don't care that much about Zoe Quinn.
Yeah, I know you said.
I mean, I know I like, I want to support the whole change journalism thing, because I do support that. I want better journalism,
But you're not willing to do so at the cost of like personal things, because that is.
I wish I could help change journalism.
Yeah.
But doing so would burn a lot of people that I like.
Yeah.
And I'm completely fine with implicating myself in things. I don't care, what's going to happen to me. I don't work in the industry. I don't work in the games industry at all. Nothing happens to me.
But for these other people, yeah. Okay.
For other people, I mean, they don't work in the games industry either, but I don't know. I still don't feel right about it. I'm not as good at them and hurting my own friends.
Okay. I mean, this entire controversy just seems to have, I can't really explain it. It seems to be one case to the next of people finding out the most remote information, someone coming forwards, and then that getting kicked up. Somebody says something like Zoe Quinn says something really obviously fucking stupid, and somebody comes along and retweets this, and more shit gets kicked up, and it just becomes some PR battle. And then the knowledge that you have, which is the knowledge that might be able to change something, sort of remains out of the way. It's only ever regarded in this implicit manner. Like, it might exist, we can't confirm it, and it falls into really two fucking camps of these people are stupid for suggesting this, like, about video game journalism that is corrupt, and people who aren't, or not people who aren't stupid about suggesting this, but people who suggest it, take the line, and yet can't prove it, and they're left in a position that is now where, I don't know, people like Indie Juice are contacting you. I'm trying to contact you to get the most details that I can out about this, because it seems like the major fucking, like, RPS, Kotaku, they are really, really fucking bound, like, by these issues.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I suppose the last thing that I really have to ask, if we want to draw this still close, because the knowledge about Zoquin is obviously going to be limited if you're not willing to divulge it, which is completely fine. It would be about, you said in the RSC chat channel that there's this closed, I mean, there's these closed off doors, and that there's part of Reddit in terms of software that, or I'm not sure how I quite put it, software that we don't see, software that users don't see. I mean, could you explain a bit more about that?
Reddit calls itself open source.
Yeah.
You can go to reddit.com/code. You can find out supposedly all of its source code.
Yeah.
However, the admins have always said that part of its code will always be closed source.
Okay.
And whenever you ask them about this, whenever a regular user asks them about this, they'll say it's part of our spam fighting algorithms, which is fine. I'm fine with their spam fighting algorithms being behind closed doors. I get that.
Alright.
You know, I had to actually ask them for it. I know a lot about this, and I was asking them, could you provide me with like these spam fighting algorithms? Just like show them to me, explain how they work, so they can kind of develop on them.
Yeah.
Because I was getting tired of spam, and I was like, hey, I could actually improve Reddit. And I learned that not all of it is just spam fighting algorithms. They've got more code than that. I know for a fact that there's automated code to shadow ban users from the website that you cannot see on reddit.com/code. You can't see it on the GitHub repository, etc. I know this one for a fact. I've seen it in action. I've figured out exactly how it works. I know, I know about it.
Is there anything you specifically can tell me about it though? I mean, just like, is there anything that would cause major controversy? No, I don't mean to like get into a state of hysteria, but is there anything controversial within this code that people don't know about?
Well, whether or not whenever you go to post something on Reddit, whether it's a comment, self-post, a link, whatever,
yeah,
there are a lot of different things that get looked at. First, there's, the spam filter itself,
yeah,
which determines whether or not it's on a list of things that are banned. If it's hard banned, that means you can't submit it at all.
okay.
Things like on gamers, or I think it's like WNSNBC or whatever. Some news site is banned because of spam, I think. There are a lot of different sources that are completely hard banned, and that's fine. It'll just tell you can't submit from that domain. That's what hard banning is.
Yeah.
Soft banning is where it says it's submitted, everything looks fine, but no one will ever see it.
Oh, okay.
Ever.
Yeah.
Soft ban. And that site's like, I don't know, hell, a massive amount of websites. I mean, we've soft banned everything. I mean, the admins have soft banned things, I should say. They've soft banned so much stuff that you can't get a lot of things past. And anyway, so if it does get past those, it gets looked at from the subreddit's spam filters. If something has spammed one subreddit more than the others, they can kind of change up the spam filter.
Okay.
If it passes that, it goes to auto moderator. Auto moderator is a bot that's used by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of subreddits.
Yeah.
Almost all big ones, at least. I think only one or two defaults don't use it, which they're kind of silly not to. It's a very good tool. What auto moderator is, it's a bot created by Demors, an admin, that it uses a list of rules and rejects to remove and approve different things.
Okay.
And this is all configurable by Demors and by the mods. And it pulls from two different sources. It pulls from Demors' own personal wiki thing, and it pulls from the subreddit's wiki. If Demors wants something banned by all auto moderator things, he can just add something to his own wiki, and then without the mods ever knowing, it will get banned.
Oh, okay.
If the mods want something removed in their own subreddit, then they just they put it on their own wiki, but they can't control other subreddits.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know why they didn't think about this, but I do have a copy of our auto moderator config file, which it's big, very, very big. But I will point out just the word cunt is automatically removed. And
Okay.
I apologize if you don't want to hear the word cunt or whatever.
No,
but
that's all right.
the word cunt is removed. So this rule says title plus body, which means the title of the post or the body of the post or comment.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the comment, the post, anything. If it says you're a cunt, you're a cunt, you're a cunt, different misspellings, and you're not a moderator, it will automatically remove it.
Okay.
If you have discussion in title, it reports things too. I mean, it can automatically report things to the moderators, like Gaben, Master Race, bias. It reports the word bias.
It reports the word bias.
Yes, it reports
Jesus fucking Christ.
Hell, it reports the word our games. If you talk about the subreddit, it'll report you and sometimes remove it. Xbox One. Yeah, it removes Xbox One. YouTube comments. Peasant, plebeian, peasantry. Plebeian. Bribe. Yeah, it removes bribe, bribing, bribes, bribed, paid off, clickbait. Oh, sorry. Kind of looped, that's weird. Downvote, upvote, Anita, Sarkeesian. Rape, Fedora, entitled, Google. I don't know why. Oh, right. Telling people to Google it. Shilling. Just Microsoft with a dollar sign. Micro shit. Micro shaft. Xbone. I mean, Hail Corporate. It removes the link to Hail Corporate. Check your privilege. Console peasants. PC Master Race. It removes so much stuff.
Yeah.
Brainwashed. Spunk Gargle Wee Wee.
Jesus Christ.
Just, I could go on for hours and hours and hours.
I mean, would you be?
Because I made all of this. This is all mine. I wrote all of this because the others don't really know how to maintain this.
So, wait, is there like two? Technical ability comes into it then. Reputation. You spoke about reputation earlier. Technical ability would arguably affect the reputation.
Oh yeah. There's different kinds of moderators. There's mods who just are good at queues. You jump into the new queue, see everything that gets posted, and then you just sit there for hours and hours and hours while doing whatever. I mean, I used to do that too when I was a new moderator. I'd sit there and watch TV while I did that for hours.
Yeah.
And I was good at it, but it was really mind crushing. There's CSS moderators where if you know CSS, the scripting language, you're very valuable because a lot of people want style sheets.
Okay.
And the best at it is a good friend, Krish. I don't know if he's my friend anymore. I don't know if he hates me or not. But he's the best CSS mod on the site, hands down. He's simply the greatest. He made our games on him. He made the CSS for our games. He's great. Lovely guy.
Right.
And he's very well respected because he's done a lot for a lot of people. Then there's random like programming. If you're good with mostly Python, then you're very useful. People like Paradox, Agent Lame, I think. These respected people.
Okay.
But auto moderator is also useful. If you're good with the rejects, you're just good with the auto mod syntax, then a lot of people will ask you for help on their auto mod stuff.
Yeah.
Which is also really fun. Like, I've helped out a lot of people with auto mod over the years, or year, I should say. I didn't really start until last year. Maybe a year and a half. I don't know. Fuck it. But, yeah, I mean, that's definitely a respected thing.
Oh, yeah. And talking about these separate layers of, I call them layers, I suppose. The way comments are filtered, these seem to be boundaries then. Boundaries that are erected within a post to determine, or quantify the content in such a manner so that you can achieve your purpose of, I don't know, let's say you want to improve your subreddit. Achieving, great quality, discussion.
I've actually got a auto mod rule for that right here.
Really?
Yeah. Comments that are below 100 characters are removed automatically.
Jesus Christ.
No, it's a simple auto mod. I mean, it's one tiny little line. Body, and between two quotes, just a tiny little rejects of anything that's between 0 and 100 is removed.
Okay. I'm going to stop the recording here. Hang on. Let's see if it lets me. Does that start? No, apparently it hasn't. It's broken. Okay. I suppose that's really it. Thanks for this opportunity of doing this. I know it sucks that I approached you in such a ridiculously informal manner. It's completely fucking retarded, but sorting out.
I know.
I
don't really mind at all.
Honestly, this discussion. Yeah, this discussion has been really fucking enlightening. About all this.
I
Um,
mean, we've only been here for what, like 20 minutes? I was just getting started.
no, it's like 50 minutes, coming up 50 minutes.
Yeah, it is 50.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You've given me
It's
quite a lot of content.
probably, it's probably what, 3 in the morning where you are?
No, it's one. But don't worry,
Uh,
I'm gonna be up a lot longer trying to get this typed up. I,
I figured we were going to be here for like 3 hours with me just telling you everything about Reddit
I
and
don't,
why it's
yeah,
shouldn't be trusted and whatnot.
I don't think I have enough questions
Uh,
to rope you into that,
if
I'm afraid.
well, if you are ending the call, then one thing I'm going to leave you with, just if I could sum everything up, it's just don't trust Reddit at all to
Oh,
do anything. Like, there's a subreddit called ZQ Conspiracy, I think it is, that's
yeah,
supposed to be like the source for all this. The people behind that have played correctly into their hands. Just it's using the exact same theory that I brought up, is that if you give people something, a place to talk about whatever they want on Reddit,
yeah,
you remove everything else that they say everywhere else on the site, but you give them their own community to talk about it. You say, see, we're not censoring you. They're only going to talk about it in that one little place,
yeah.
which is very easily censored. And all the
Oh,
people who come there, all the people that come there, they now have all the account names of everyone who's interested in this. So they can look at those accounts and say, hey, we don't like him. He's shadow banned. Oh, he sent us a message asking why. You were vote manipulating. You were brigading from 4chan.
yeah.
There's a huge doc about all the different people banned exactly for this. And it's all within, like, different theories and tactics that I know. I've used these same tactics myself. We've done it in our games.
I saw a post by somebody called Cupcake, a moderator called Cupcake. I think that was her name. It was
Admin.
in, uh,
Admin.
oh,
I
was that?
think.
Okay. The admin made a
Yeah.
comment in, I think it was subreddit drama, that
Mm.
what was happening, this whole Zoe Quinn conspiracy, was a 4chan raid. And I thought, evidence suggests against, just calling it a 4chan raid in the first place is sort of a like classic PR move where you deflect the issue and pigeonhole it. And I thought, well, maybe, these are administrators. Surely they know more about me than more about it than I do. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll
That's
accept this,
really
but
that's really
yeah,
depend on.
hearing you talk about this, I think
Um,
let's kick that off, and
because
I'll definitely be sure to bring it up.
if people knew how many people we banned from our games for really no good reason by just saying, hey, you were brigading or you were vote manipulating, then it would be incredible. People would go crazy. I mean, because if we need a reason to ban someone, we just say vote manipulation because they
Yeah,
can't prove it. They can't say anything against it. Even if we're just moderators, we can't look at the votes. We don't know anything more than the regular users do. But because we're moderators, because they're admins, people will always look at the people above them and say, he must know more about me than I do. He must know what he's talking about because he
yeah,
has that confidence. He has that charisma of someone who knows what he's talking about, and that's really all there is to it. Cupcake is a PR person. She's the PR person, I think. Her and Crispy are the PR persons of Reddit.
okay,
And really, if she wants something banned, all she has to do is say, they're brigading. They're vote manipulating. And if you ask, can we see proof? They do exactly what Demorse do. Demorse did. Sorry, we don't give proof for people because it contains private information. It contains whatever.
okay,
We can't do that. It's against the policy. But if the person who's involved says, hey, can you at least show the proof to me? There should be nothing against it showing to me. They say, we wouldn't want to do that, and we wouldn't want to egg you on. This is what they did to me. So they count on people giving into that kind of they count on people giving into that charisma and that knowledge and that superiority.
yeah, okay.
Really, the only
I,
advice I can give to people is don't use Reddit. Don't give into that superiority. Or else the minute that you go on it, they already own you.
yeah.
It doesn't matter what community you're in.
Okay, thank you for this. I'm going to end the call now just so I don't get caught up in like another hour discussion. I'll be sure to carry on working through this until Sunday. If I can, if I feel like what wants to be said isn't being said, then I'll extend the deadline. I really want to get this up as soon as possible, and
All right,
I suppose I'll probably put up, I don't know, like a paste bin of the document once it's finished, and just link it to you.
that'd be
Um,
great.
until then, I'll catch you later. Thank you once again.
Make sure to let me know if you ever need anything else.
Okay.